introduce yourself and the occasion here this weekend.
I'm Be Real from Cypress Hill. We're at the Amnesia Rockfest.
Explain to me a little bit how the idea came about to do a web TV show the way that you have done it.
Well, I started off doing radio for a number of years with Eric Bobo. We did a show called The Soul Assassins radio show on 92.3 The Beat, which was it was a competitor station to Power 106. And we used to write a lot of sketches and do comedic things within a mixed show format, because we didn't have a standard show because it was a Friday night. We could be a little bit more loose. We didn't have to be like the guys, during the week. So we made it a little loose, did a lot of comic sketches and implemented them here and there. And we realized it was a great platform for us. At some point, we walked away from radio. We missed out on that platform. We were like, well, we need something to come along and take the place of what we had there, because that platform was us being able to express our opinion, to promote our music, to promote ourselves, to promote our brand and all of our family under the same umbrella, as well as just hip hop in general. And our brand of radio, right? So we lost that, and we were trying to figure out, okay, well, what do we do to make up for that? What do we do to get that back or take it to another level? And at the time I was trying to figure that out, my good friend Maceo of De La Soul was doing a show on Ustream, who still does it today. It's called De La's Dugout. And he asked me to check that out to see if I would come on his show and whatnot. And I did a little research on the live streams and Ustream and whatnot. And I decided to broadcast a Cypress Hill show that we had in San Francisco on 420 at the Fillmore. And without any promotion, we got a lot of views, probably like 20,000 views, and that was, pretty decent without any promotion.
Yeah.
And
they just got out of the shower.
So we decided, hey, let's dig into this a little bit more. Let's research a little bit more about it, right? And at the time, my friend, one of my good friends, one of my partners in Be Real TV, Kenji Fujishima, he was dealing with these guys at Stickam who wanted to build us a platform of our own. And Kenji knew I was doing the streaming, so he brought me in to meet up with the guys at Stickam, and the idea of Be Real TV spawned through there. And we started off with the Dr. Green Thumb show, and we slowly built around that by bringing other shows, because I didn't want to do it to where it was just like me streaming once a week or once a month like other celebrities that streamed. I wanted it to be more like a station. So I recruited other guys that wanted to get into this type of broadcasting, because it was fairly new. It still is new, but we feel we put together a certain product that is unique. And we're still trying to build it and make it better, but that's how it all started, pretty much.
What kind of message are you trying to send with the show, and I guess what kind of things do you believe in nowadays that you'd like to convey somehow through your work?
Well, what we try to do is obviously celebrate the marijuana culture, every aspect of it, from the casual user to the medicinal user. Just celebrate the fact that we have that in place. Let people know what kind of privilege that is, and smoke freely to show people that, hey, this is your right as a medical user. And if you live in Washington and you live in Colorado, you just smoke freely. This is your right. And so we do that on this show. We don't necessarily try to shove the politics down the throat. We try to inform, but still entertain and be funny and make it about music, comedy, weed culture, and all of it rolled into one, no pun intended, and it works for us. We've been doing it for about 4.5, 5 years. In October it'll be 5 years for us, and it's consistently grown from our YouTube channel to our actual BeReal.tv site, it's just growing and getting better. So it was a chance we took, and we're satisfied with the results, but we still want to make it bigger.
What are, for those, let's say, people who are not so much supporters of the culture, not so familiar with the aspects of the culture, which is different everywhere in the world, right? I mean, like in Canada, we roll with tobacco, for example. Right. California, not so much,
Right.
So, but I mean, the different branches, the different kind of sects of the culture aside, what are some of the benefits of different aspects of the culture? Which ways do you feel this, this seed, this plant has done good for the world, for people, for the environment, and what kind of promise do you feel that it holds for the future?
Well, what we're trying to do is provide a platform.
Pneumatic drill to pneumatic drill.
We're trying to provide a platform not only for ourselves, but other people to come and give that information, give that knowledge, and spread the word in whatever way that they can, And I think we have a good balance of that, We have a good balance of people that come and spread the message to the people who are interested in it. And we have the entertainment aspect for the people who aren't necessarily politically motivated, but they just want to hear the good music and see the videos and want to laugh and whatnot. I think we have a good balance of that. We have a show called Class in Session. It's actually based out of Canada, and our good friends down there, I believe it's in Vancouver, Van City, that they broadcast this show, and they are like the flagship of providing the information of BeReal TV, along with the Dr. Green Thumb show, because we'll have people on like Dr. Dina and people that are well versed in the culture and whatnot. And, along with the guys in Van City, they've had plenty of activists down there to drop knowledge on the people watching, so that they can spread it out from there. So, we feel like it's a good balance, man, and we just want to keep on making the product better for people to, latch on to and connect to it and learn, laugh, or just be entertained to some degree.
Everybody jumps in the air, even if you're way back there. Everybody jumps in the air. Everybody jumps in the air right now.
Explain how, I guess, you view creativity, productivity, and pot usage versus how, let's say, the mainstream perceives, productivity, consistency, and pot.
Today's stoner breaks all the stereotypes because we work out, we eat right, we work hard, we're productive, we are creative, we prioritize our things and we knock them out. The stoners in the previous years were, the outlook on them was they were lazy, and they didn't, they were counterproductive, didn't like to work and all this other shit. And that wasn't necessarily true, but that's what was portrayed. This day and age, people are a lot, in tune and locked in and want to break those stereotypes. Me, it wasn't that I want to prove to the world that the stoners can do this and do that. It's, it was a very organic and it was different for me. I didn't do it to prove a point. I did it more along the lines just to, for myself. you know, and I think that other people see, you know, some of the stuff that I've been doing, the consistency and the work from, you know, the mixtape we dropped with the serial killers to the medication mixtape I just dropped with my good friend Lenny Ducano, and with all the studio work I've been putting in with Cypress Hill and for my Dr. Green Thumb album. They see that consistency, and then they see maybe through my Instagram, you know, I'm in the gym, and I, you know, had a tremendous weight loss from 3 years ago to now.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I lost it a couple of years ago, but maintaining it as of 3 years now. You know what I mean? They see that, and it shows, like, you know, breaking the stereotype.
True.
And I think, you know, people attribute that, and they see the consistency in my character in that regard. And you know, if it inspires someone, hey man, that's great. You know, I can't say that I went out there to specifically inspire folks to do that, but if I did, you know, that unconsciously I did my job. You know what I mean? You know, I didn't look at the pictures we were taking for a long time. You know, we snap them and go, and you know, I'm not like a vain dude where I gotta look at every picture that we take, you know, fucking be narcissistic about it, you know what I mean? But there was a time I would snap them and go, and we were partying every night, smoking, drinking, eating every night, and I had stopped working out because I injured, I think, my shoulder or something, and I gave myself too much time off, and I ballooned up to about 246, and I didn't look at any of the pictures, and then I saw a picture, I was rounded out. And right then and there, I was like, I got to do something different, because what I'm doing now ain't working. You know, and that's when I started to work right then and there. I saw that a couple of pictures like that where I was like, oh shit. And now they're starting to come out too. You know, I see them every now and then where, you know, you take a group of pictures at a certain time, they always come out like a year or two later, all over the fucking place. So a lot of those pics are coming out now. I suppose the skinny pics will come out in another couple of years.
Sure, yeah.
I have to wait for that run to come out to get an actual good pic so I can roll it out. But
for people to actually know that you lost the weight, you know?
Unless they see stuff like this, you know,
Yeah.
or see me, you know, see when we go live and whatnot. I saw them pictures, man. I couldn't hang with that. I had to do something to switch it up, because my father was a big dude, and I always told myself, oh, I can't let myself do like that. Especially with this, running around an hour and a half. I mean, this was a quick 45-minute set, but like, you know, had we done like our Cypress Hill set that's like an hour and a half, that gets tiring when you're heavy. So, you know, damage on the knees, back, all that shit. So, you know, I had to drop it, man. And I was glad to do it, and I'm glad to keep it off in spite of how hard it is to keep it
Huge fan of the Psycho Realm. Huge. I saw with Danny Diablo. Slick Jacket came through like 4 years ago. It's fucking amazing. Talk a bit about all the amazing work in that and the impact that group is trying to make, and for people to not forget about it.
Well, you know, I met those guys around 97. Maybe just before that, actually. No, correction. I met those guys probably 92, 93. Put out the album in 97, I think, at that time.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're great guys. They're creative. They had a different style from the jump, and I loved what they were doing. When they had another member before I came into it. And he was a pretty decent rapper, but like they made a style change in what they were doing when I met them to what they had flipped it into, and he kind of just didn't mesh with that. And he kind of knew that, so he didn't take it personal. He kind of just rolled off and did his own thing, but he didn't take it, you know, he didn't take it one way or another. And you know, I was like so fucking, you know, proud of the switch that they had made on, you know, both their styles and as MCs were totally fucking just I was inspired by it, to say the least, right? So I said, hey, listen, let's do this again, because there was a first run of Psycho Realm demos when I met them. I signed them to a production contract, and I wanted to, you know, put them out. But the first configuration didn't work. So we took some time off. I went on tour. Jack learned how to produce, and he flipped his style, and Duke flipped his style tremendously. And when I came back, they were fucking ready to go. So, you know, they had told me that JoJo had rolled off, which was the third member at that point, the third rapper. And I said, hey, listen, you know, let me come in with you. I'd like to come into this with you. Let's fucking do it, like the three of us. And they, you know, they were like, oh shit, let's do it, you know? Well, so we decided, you know, right then and there, we were just gonna go do something different than anybody else was doing at that time in hip hop, you know? So we just started experimenting and working together as a team, lyrically, conceptually, stylistically, with the production, everything. And that first album, you know, it became an underground classic, and pretty much launched them into that hip hop world. You know, it was unfortunate what happened with Duke and whatnot, because if that hadn't happened, they would have probably been as big as Cypress Hill, for sure. Yeah. Because they had that something. Yeah. You know, with or without me, I should say that, obviously, because them two are brothers, and they had a chemistry, and their styles complemented each other, much like myself and Send Dog, much like Chuck D and Flavor Flav, much like Red and Method Man. They had their own thing. So you know, that's my only regret about the whole thing, is that, you know, the whole thing changed when, you know, that happened to Duke. So, you know, but it was great working with them for that time.
What's next up for you? Coming out soon, and that's that.
Well, right now, like I said, we just put out a mixtape called The Medication. Before that was Serial Killers with Exhibit, myself and Demrick. Currently, I'm working on 2 albums. One, the Cypress Hill album, featuring DJ Muggs on production, and my Dr. Green Thumb album, which is, you know, the team effort. There's going to be a lot of different producers on that. Much different than any Cypress Hill music or Serial Killers or anything that I've done before. It's going to be, you know, a departure. You know, people will not expect the style of how I'm doing the Dr. Green Thumb record in comparison to what I've done in the past. So, you know, some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. Debate it. I'm going to stay medicated.
Hell yeah, bro. All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, brother.
Awesome.